Okay, if you haven't been to the channel before, I'm talking about MiSTer right now. So MiSTer is a software project that's deployed on an FPGA board. So it's like a little circuit board. You'll see in my little Steam overlay here, I've got a kind of a console. You'll see my logo in the middle of it there. So that is my custom case for the MiSTer. And the idea is that you can reprogram the core, the FPGA core, to stimulate many different kinds of systems, including retro game systems. So we're just playing through some stuff today. So first one I picked is the Batman game from '89 from Sunsoft, as you can see on the screen. Eric, you had this game?
Yeah, I had it on the NES. Definitely one of my favorites. Such good music.
Yes. So Sunsoft is like they're known for that on this, and this is no exception for sure. I always thought of this game kind of as like the first one that like really had its own atmosphere. Probably the first one I played that had a darker atmosphere at all, and it's I find it kind of strange that it's like based on the movie, but it's kind of just the cutscenes that are based on the movie. Everything else is just kind of
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, you got all the cool weapons. So you got the batarang, you got all that good stuff.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty funny
yeah,
that it does remind me a lot of like Castlevania with the switching the weapons and having like only a certain number of like shots for each weapon kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Handles way better than Castlevania though.
Yeah, it
was a fun game to play.
Yes, and you know what I'm finding? Yeah, it's faster. Like Batman moves better for sure. I am finding the jump. Do you remember the jump? Like it has a wind up, so your actual jump is like a few frames after.
Yeah, and you gotta sort of commit to it if you're jumping.
Yes, but the wall jumping is so satisfying in this game.
Yeah, it's nice.
I don't know how far I'm going to get in this because I haven't played this in a long time, and I actually don't think I ever got very far back in the day. I didn't have this myself. My friend on my street had this, so this is one of the games we'd play all the time if I was heading over there. I think by the time I seem to remember, like, at your place, mostly playing PC games.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had the NES and the SNES, but I think it's just whatever was fun at the time.
Yeah. I always rememred that your NES had like the Game Genie jammed into it. Like, it's the only way it goes in, but like the point of it was that, because the cart connector had maybe gone a little, had bent a bit, that the Game Genie was like it stayed there. And
yeah,
I had instructions to like
easier.
Just pull the cartridge out and leave the Game Genie in.
You always needed the tricks with the NES to keep it working right.
Yeah.
Everybody had their own strategies for blowing on the carts that apparently did nothing, but
Yeah, it's
felt like you were doing something.
It's funny how like easy it could have been. Like, like rubbing alcohol works great.
I seem to remember that being one of your earlier sort of ventures into video game repair was like taking NESs, and I think you told me like the pins get bent out of position or something, and that you were sort of just bending them back.
Yeah, so I do remember doing that once where I simply like took my NES apart and I just took a screwdriver that was like the width of the pin, and I just like went through and bent them all back one by one. And it worked great for a time, but I mean, once we're talking towards the end of, or like maybe the start of the 2000s, parts became available. So like, to this day, you can buy a new connector for next to nothing.
That's good.
Oh man. Any strategy tips?
No, I think you got this. Just like you, I think I haven't played this years and years.
So I only had a couple games for NES. I had like Mario. I really very clearly remember getting Mario 3 and like ripping the box open. I remember getting that, and what else did I have? I had California Games, which is pretty good. But then I realized like the other games that I had, like I had Jaws and Friday the 13th, and those are like considered like the worst games. I wondered if they were like budget titles. Like I wonder if yeah, see, I'm not gonna last too long against this guy. There we go. So yeah, they're kind of notorious because they're like LJN games. I don't know if they're budget
Love
titles.
that death animation. You got the explode into
yeah.
a Batman logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was going to
Yeah,
ask
I don't
was,
know.
what other NES games did you have? I don't remember. I don't remember playing too much NES at your place.
Pretty sweet collection. I think by the time we were hanging out, NES was kind of,
Yeah.
you know, we had the SNES and everything after that. Probably PlayStation by then as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we probably didn't play much of my NES collection, but I had some good ones. I think, like I had Batman. Definitely enjoyed it. I think a lot of the games, you know, NES games are not designed to be easy, so I feel like I didn't actually beat many of the games that I had.
That's funny because
I had this. I
was gonna say that, you know, my memory of you as a gamer is a completionist. So I was gonna say, like, did you finish this game? I certainly never did.
I don't think I beat this game. Once games started having saves and stuff, then I think I started completing games. But in these days, when you had to just master it from start to finish, those were difficult times. So I think one of my favorites was Kung Fu. Really liked Kung Fu.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think what was that? It was this one where you had to sort of like go up level by level, and ultimately you're saving some captured princess or something. But that was a good one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well. The first game.
Yes.
Played that one a lot. And that was one of the reasons I had the Game Genie was to try to beat that game, and I still couldn't beat it with the Game Genie because there was one spot you have the invincibility code, but it's this really hard jump, and if you land there's some like electricity that you land in, and if you got invincibility on it, just hard locks. And you gotta reset the game.
Yeah, that jump is that is like gaming lore. Like that is the thing. And I don't know, maybe somebody in the comments can mention, but like there was I think there was a version where it was like truly bugged and it actually just didn't work. Like you couldn't get by that part. I don't know if it was like I'm sure it wasn't the NES version, but like the DOS version or something.
No, yeah. There was a DOS port that they made the gap just twice as wide, and it was literally impossible.
That's great. It was like
I think that was DOS.
Just supposed to be like just a money grab or what? Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Not enough play testing. Nobody could get to that level anyway.
Yeah,
so
exactly. What else did I have that I loved? I think my favorite Mario game was Mario 2, and I remember getting that as like a bootleg from my my video store. My local video store had this Mario 3, and it was a Famicom cartridge with an adapter, but it was a bootleg. So I don't know how those things got here back then.
Famicom Mario 2 like Lost Levels, you mean?
No, this was actually let me think now. You know what? No, I'm wrong. You know what it was? It was the first time I played Mario 3. It was the bootleg. Because it had come out in Japan earlier, and the unscrupulous video store owner just, wanted to rent it, so. Can't remember if this is like...
you're gonna have to wall jump off the left, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh. Well. Almost. Yeah, I remember now. One of my favorite games for the NES was Zelda 2, and I know that one gets a lot of mixed feelings about it because it's so different from the rest of the series. But I love that game.
Yeah, I think it's one of those games where it's like, it was its own thing. It just wasn't. It just maybe wasn't the sequel people were expecting. And they did the exact same thing with Castlevania 2, right?
Right.
Castlevania 2 is, considered to be the outlier, and it's like very similar, is it not? In the fact that it's like adventure with towns and all sorts of stuff.
I think you're right. I never had. Don't think I've ever played Castlevania 2.
No, eh?
Yeah. Have you?
I
guess
no.
you were talking about the Castlevanias on your last stream because you were.
Yeah, it was Castlevania 3 that I put like just a little bit of time into trying to. Man, this is like the beefiest robot I've ever had to fight. With bare hands I can beat it, but not with a gun. It's like every robot, right?
Yeah, well. Oh, I remember this one.
You have
Yeah.
to like go down. Oh, see, I didn't do it right. I'm gonna leave it
I
here.
I definitely loved all that because you get to a point in this game where there's a big focus on wall jumping and just
Yeah.
sort of mastering that, and I really like this whole stretch of the game. Bit of a precursor to Super Metroid.
Yeah, so actually, Super Metroid is also one of the games that I like just kind of picked up in the pandemic times. Before I had a MiSTer, I had a Super NT, which is an FPGA based game console, but it's only Super Nintendo. And I actually just sold it because they're like going for a ton of money right now, and because I've been using the MiSTer, I just didn't need it anymore. And so I sold that on eBay. But yeah, so I was playing that upstairs on the LCD. Really great for like upscaling and stuff. I mean, MiSTer's the same way. You can upscale it to whatever you want. But Super Metroid is also a game that I like just, I never got any exposure to originally. And it was always one, it's at the top of every best of list and whatever, but like just didn't really get it. Anyway, so I tried it, and it is fantastic. I haven't finished it yet, but pretty far.
Mm. Oh, I love that game. And I mean that, and I mean obviously you were talking about Chrono Trigger, and definitely just one of the best games. So that Super Metroid and Link to the Past, three of my favorite games, all on the SNES, and those three, I could just play those all day long.
I gotta say, I have tried to play through Link to the Past several times, and I can't do it. I've not because it's hard, because I've like gotten bored with it. I don't know. There's something about it that I just haven't. And even I played like even a really good portion of the sequel on 3DS, the Link Between Worlds, which is like the same map, and it's obviously much different mechanics, but same idea. I played a good portion of that too. It just doesn't hold my attention the way that the 3D ones do. Like I really like all the 3D ones, including, I don't even know which one is the popular one to dislike right now. I think the popular one to dislike is actually Skyward Sword, which is getting a re-release soon actually. So
cool. I've Skyward Sword I think is the only one I haven't finished yet, but I started it. Probably got about halfway through. And
yeah, I mean, I do agree.
For any particular reason, I liked it, but just other things get in the way,
Yeah, I do agree that there are some issues, like what's her name in that one? Fee, right? Fee is like your mystical companion, like your Navi, but she tells you like exactly what to do for the entire game, like. Yeah,
you're pretty definitely handheld through that game, and I found that the zones are very limited. So you're in the sky, and you dive down to a zone, and then you just play that through that zone. It's usually pretty linear, and then it's not connected to the other zones at all. So it feels very kind of compartmentalized.
Yeah, I get that.
Very opposite of any sort of open world feeling.
Yeah. What was your you played Breath of the Wild, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're a big fan.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, it's it was great. Definitely love the whole open world feel to it.
I gotta say, I wasn't a big fan. I didn't finish it. I only got through I think two of the dudes. What are the
See, I think I got it because of your recommendation. I think you had said, you'd started playing it, and then maybe you would put a pause on it or something. Anyway.
I think so, but it's like I really feel like I'm an outlier in that. Like most people I know have like gotten like totally addicted to it and like love it. And what's even crazier is that the game I'm playing, like the modern game I'm playing right now, is Horizon Zero Dawn, which I think owes. Well, I think it's actually. I think Horizon would be more loved in like the whole. Like pop culture sphere if Breath of the Wild didn't happen to come out the exact same week, I think.
Nice. That was a good wall jump there.
Oh, thank you. I watched a playthrough to see what. Oh, that didn't help. Okay, that's good. Okay, we'll switch over to to another game now. Anyway, so that wasn't so bad. I was pretty happy with how I did on that.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna switch over now to TurboGrafx. I was trying to explain to Eric TurboGrafx 16, which is not a console that like everybody has necessarily heard of. So I happen to have the box here for the Mini. I have all the Mini systems just because I like to put stuff on my shelf. So also, collectors, check. This is your favorite when Amazon like puts the shipping sticker right on the box. Everyone loves that, right? So it like can never be mint ever. So okay, it was a system. It was 16-bit. I mean, I don't believe it was 16-bit. Like it acts like an 8-bit system, and it came out 89, I think. Here, this interestingly is released by Konami. The re-release here. Oh, 86. So it was a bit earlier. Here's the controller. Very reminiscent of an NES controller with like built-in turbo dealies. So I was actually using it for this core. Because the Mini came with these USB controllers, obviously I could just very easily plug it in. So I'm going to use it again for
those built-in turbo buttons. That's not something the original console had, was it?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. So
awesome.
So the library in North America was quite limited. Like it just didn't do well enough against Sega and Nintendo for them to put like a lot of time and money into it. And like I don't even know like what their like American branch, if it was very big. But in Japan, where it's called the PC Engine, it was like a massive system. And I'm not sure like what the sales numbers are as far as like compared to NES and Sega Master System. But way more games over there, and it's like an arcade shooter heaven. Like there are tons of shooters. So I don't know if they intended that or if they had like partnerships set up, but I feel like that's why they put on the turbo buttons, so that you could immediately like hold down shooting buttons. Okay, so this is a game called Bloody Wolf. This is often recommended as a game to play. Okay, we need a five-letter name. Give me a name, Eric.
Oh,
five
I don't
letters.
know.
5 letters. Starting with C. Okay, this guy's gonna be named Carbs.
Carbs. I love it.
He's bulking up. Okay, there we go. Carbs. I like carbs. Okay. So this is recommended as one of the ones. So I was like, okay, I'll try it out here. And I mean, it's a weird system. Your mission is to rescue the president. Okay, who has been kidnapped by the enemy. That's all. Just the enemy. Doesn't matter who it is.
The
enemy.
Back in the days where that's all you needed.
So looking at this, it's interesting because like to me, it is a bit better than say like NES. Oh, by the way, this barbed wire
do anything.
This barbed wire fence, no problem. You can't move on it, but like it
Nice.
doesn't hurt you.
Right, okay.
So
just
okay.
those guys went flying.
I'm gonna turn up the music a bit here. So the music is fine. It's all right, but the sound effects are so weak in this, like the little gunshot. And the best thing is if you happen to like, if you're able to kill a bunch of guys all at once, they'll do the same death animation where they like curse God or something.
Just reaching for the sky.
Yeah.
Why? It's like they're in a Shakespeare.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Oh my God.
And the message is like slightly behind the sprite layer. I'm not sure if that is if that's like a MiSTer bug.
Oh, nice.
If that's original. Thanks.
You're just crawling right on that message.
Yeah. Our protagonist is a man of few words. Okay, now I'm hoping I can get. I played this a little bit. I'm hoping I can get the bike here.
Nice. Can we get a
Yes.
bit more on the music?
Okay, more music.
Yeah.
So this is how how bike controls.
Beautiful. That's it's not bad. You got 8 angles there or something.
Yeah, it does. It has diagonals drawn in, but they seem to. I don't know. Oh no, I have to get off. Okay, I have to get off the bike. It's gonna explode. I think the bike's gonna go. There it goes.
There
I
it
do also
goes.
have grenades. I can throw grenades. 19
Very nice.
left here. So there was a portable version of this system, and I'm sure you'll remember that I used to like collect a lot of games, even in high school. And I had the portable, and it was pretty cool, like for the time, because it was like the games were. I had like a little selection of games. They're better than Game Gear games overall, but maybe only because Game Gear screen was so bad. PC Engine screen was like marginally better. It wasn't perfect, but
So you had a handheld PC Engine console.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
yeah. So it was like it looked
Okay,
more
cool.
like a Game Boy. It looked like a cross between a Game Boy and a Game Gear because it was black, but it was in that vertical system. Okay, I can continue.
Back
Back
to
at the
start
beginning.
again.
I'll just see if I can like rush through to the same point.
Yes. Well, I don't know if it's just the stream or what, but anytime you're shooting, the music goes pretty much silent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Every time I'm shooting. the music
pretty
goes
pretty
silent.
wacky music in the background anyway.
That's weird. I wonder if that might have to do with the fact that we're on Skype. I don't know if it's detecting something.
Could be.
Okay, I'll try one more time. Pay attention. And then we can go on to another game. We can always try. I got the titles in the title there. What we're gonna play, but I could always put something else. Add something else from Nintendo or. So yeah, I got one more
So did
game
you
lined
have-
up. Go ahead.
Did you have this game on your handheld?
No, I never played this before. On the handheld, I had Street Fighter, which actually was like a fantastic port for some reason. Like,
That game was like the Skyrim of those days. Just
yeah, on
put
everything.
Street Fighter on every single machine.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I think? I can't go back. I think I missed a shotgun.
The first Street Fighter or Street Fighter 2?
Street Fighter 2. Have you ever seen the first Street Fighter?
okay.
Like,
Yeah.
it was an arcade machine. It had pneumatic buttons, so like
Really?
your strength of your like punches and kicks. It wasn't 3 separate buttons. It was
Oh, that's cool.
it was like how hard you hit the button, which is kind of funny because like it's especially as a kid, it's kind of a funny thing that you do. Just like you hit the
Mashing the button.
harder, thinking it's gonna actually do something, but it actually did on that arcade machine. I've never seen an original Street Fighter, but it looks a lot more like an 8-bit game or something.
Mhm.
The key's in my pocket. You can use it.
Just reach in there.
The other game I was thinking I was going to bring on, maybe we'll do it another time, is, I hit my grenade, is Battletoads for NES.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's move
I
on.
was thinking about that too, actually.
Yeah, Battletoads is fantastic.
I just want to see you attempt the that jumping level,
The Turbo Tunnel.
the side scroller.
Yeah. I'm not bad. I'm not bad at the Turbo Tunnel. All right, I'm going to switch over to our last title that's on the menu anyway, which is the DOS game. So I'm looking at the chat for a second here. So Epic says, I went from NES to TurboGrafx 16, so I was quite content with the upgrade. Legendary Axe is the main title I still boot up. I'll try Legendary Axe next time, maybe on the next stream. That came up a whole bunch of times as one of the best games for TurboGrafx. So, all right, so I'm going to switch over here to 486. So if you haven't seen my case, all my games are like on a little system. So this is not necessary. If you want, you can put everything, all these cores, on a single SD cartridge. But just to make it a little more fun, so I do it this way. Okay, so this is the AO46 core, which runs at 486. obviously wait for it to come on. I'm not sure if it doesn't always load the text mode right away, so I have to go into the game. So, so Eric suggested a few games, and I did actually. You know what I found? That I have a true treasure mountain right here.
Nice.
I got the actual.
Yeah, I was on the sort of educational tech vibe.
Yeah, so
It looks like I think you picked something.
I did. Okay, so does AE, was that give you any idea?
That sounds familiar. What is it?
Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to see.
Okay, here we go. Ready? This should ring some bells.
Oh, beautiful! I love this.
So this is the same series.
You got the mirrors. You gotta sort of deflect everything and all the puzzles. Beautiful.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to.
So for us, I think, yeah, I guess it's an educational game. Maybe I don't even know. This one, it's mostly just puzzle solving, isn't it? Or is there any like?
This is actually a pretty good action game. So I'm just going to pop out of the core for a second to define, because I switched this D-pad, so I need to redefine it here. And then this one, that. So this game actually doesn't use the. Oops. AO46 doesn't actually use the joystick. It uses the keyboard, but I have it set up here to use the joystick just so it's a little bit easier. So let's get back into the game here. Do you use DOS much? Do you like ever have any reason to go into a DOS prompt these days?
No, I mean terminals, yeah, but I'm a programmer these days, so a lot of Mac stuff rather than Windows.
A lot of Mac stuff rather than like using a Mac like as a workstation.
Using a Mac, so yeah. So using the terminal for lots of stuff, but I haven't touched DOS in a long time. Apart from, I guess sometimes it's nice to go do some DOS box for doing these sorts of old games.
Okay, hold on. I think I've almost got this going here. So I need to do. Okay, so. Left is left. Up is up. Try this one more time here. Left, up, up, right, down, and then I want the jump button to be up, and I want the action button to be this, and I want the enter button to be this. F. Okay. Think that'll do it. Let's see if it's working here. So yeah, I've great memories of playing this on the IBM like 5150s at the back of the classroom. I think we had two of them. I'm thinking of I think it's our grade 4 is what I'm thinking of.
Well, might have been. For me, well, I wasn't there in grade 4, so for me the earliest when we were in school together was grade 5, probably around then for me. But I remember we had a portable. We had the two laptops, or the two not laptops, the two PCs there, and often we'd try to get out of going outside for recess, so that we could play on the computers, or program, do some QBasic or something like that.
Yeah, I was actually one of the things I was thinking about that'd be funny would be to here I'm chrono here. Actually, I'm gonna do a new one because I really need to will be carbs again. I'm going for easier difficulty because I was trying this out and I was not getting very far. All right, yeah. Pretty exciting. So we had this one. This game, once you get into it, hopefully we get to the part where it's got all the like the mirrors and whatever. This is a lot like Batman that we played because you've got like a changeable thing down there.
So how are you supposed to kill this snake, or you just have to jump over?
I don't think you kill anything in this whole game.
Okay.
You can stun them. So like I have that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it actually doesn't work on everything. Like, it doesn't work on the bats.
I think bats would be pretty stunned by a bit of light.
The other game that was in the series that I really liked was called, I think it was called Outnumbered, which was like in a TV station, and it was all number games, whereas, you know, this is like puzzle solving, I guess you would say. And Treasure Mountain was also mostly math, right?
Yeah. There was a lot of solving. Treasure Mountain was like lots of word problems that ask you,
so
like,
maybe Treasure, yeah.
What rhymes with these words? And that sort of thing.
Yeah, so
you go around the mountain capturing these gnomes with your net, and they'd ask you riddles, and you'd have to answer the riddles or something like that. I think I mostly played that one at like the library, at the Oshawa library or something like that.
I remember something about snowballs, like you had to like pick up snowballs, and like I thought you had to count.
That sounds right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Hey, so I mentioned this in my last stream as well, but so like, were you aware that all these DOS games were at such a low resolution, like 320 by 200?
No, it's tiny.
That's the same as like an NES. Like those are very similar. I always thought that VGA was 640 by 480. I thought that was like, that's what VGA meant. I was not correct about that.
Well, it's impressive how good this looks for that kind of a resolution.
Yeah, exactly. This guy is throwing something up here. Not looking so hot.
Nice jump.
You know what? I think because I'm on easy mode, he doesn't actually like shoot anything. Because in the expert mode, he was shooting something red.
He's just wrapping up there.
Yeah.
Spitting some beats.
He's not hurting anybody. Oh, I know. Okay, I understand. So you know, you mentioned Island as
yeah.
So that's interesting. So that game was actually made for the Durham District School Board.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I knew it was something local. I didn't know it was that local.
I mean, if anyone has ever heard of it, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, it is like, it is kind of a clone of there are other like island simulation games like that where you have to like make a decision of what you do every day, which was like mostly random. There was a few things that were neat. Like I do remember the one fishing game. So like you'd wake up a day and like, if you want to fish, then it would show you like show you a scale like from 0 to 9. Then it would like disappear the scale and then put the fish somewhere. You had to like remember whether it was like 7 or 8.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the depth of the fish or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, big brain time.
Nice.
Okay. So again, I played the expert version first. In the expert version, you actually have to like flip them. Like they're not necessarily the right way up, whereas these are all like clearly the right way up already. I think I have to move everything over. But there's like a flip button, so you're expected normally to flip these all around to like find the right spots. What am I doing here? That's not right. Educational.
Yeah, I feel like this sort of game is sort of stretching the educational part. It's mostly just fun.
And I think,
but I guess it's developing that problem solving.
Yes, and you can also learn that a Phoenician sphinx around 900 BC has the body of a lion, the head of a human, a ram, or a hawk. So all these things. I was thinking about some like really ancient DOS games that I was going to try and dig up, but I couldn't find them right away. Do you remember one called Faye, That Math Woman?
Yeah. I don't remember what it was like at all. What was it?
Okay, so it was a game where it was like all math problems, but like she would like jump along the number line. They would be like, you know, starting from 1, like, you know, type in 7. So like you do 1, then 8, then 15, and she would like jump along and it was supposed to like give you like internal ideas of like what multiplication was when you think of it being like, you know, series of additions and stuff. I think it actually may have had an effect on me. Like I think it actually may have influenced how I like visualize numbers.
I'm just checking out our chat. We got some stuff here. Cross Country Canada, yes.
Yeah.
An Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail, yeah. Cross Country Canada, we had a classmate who was all about Cross Country Canada. It is funny because like it seemed silly back then. I remember like thinking like, what kind of game is this? Why would you want to play this? But like, you know, these days, that kind of a simulation game like sounds like a lot of fun. Like
Truck simulator, yeah, totally.
Exactly, yeah. And,
yeah, I think
it would have had a lot of, you know, it would have definitely improved my knowledge of Canadian cities. Because you had to, like, it was like the 400 series highway, or Trans-Canada Highway, wasn't it? And you had to, like, you had to pick up stuff in some places and drop them somewhere else. Okay, Eric, I need your help on this this logic puzzle.
Oh. Okay, logic puzzle.
I don't know what's going on here.
Some crazy logic.
All right, so in the first row, okay, we got a downward facing left. So this guy's rotating
and then up
counterclockwise. He continues to rotate that way. So
one more
I'm
rotation.
gonna say the middle one. What do you think?
Yeah, it sounds right to me.
Okay. All money's on this. Yes. Yes.
Beautiful.
Okay, here we go. Now we get into the like the switches and stuff.
Nice.
Gotta get this
Yeah, the other game that I remember that definitely helped me learn was the Mario typing game.
Mario teaches typing.
Did you ever play that one?
I did.
Yeah. So good. I don't know if that was actually licensed or not.
It was.
If that was a legit Nintendo product, was it?
Yeah.
So good though, and yeah, just I owe all my typing skills now to that game.
Okay, what am I? All right, I'm gonna go hit the switch back over here again and see what it does. I feel like I'm missing. Oh, I'm back at the start. Okay, there we go. That's all it took. I didn't need to use that switch at all. You know, so one of the first classic.
Cool too,
Go ahead.
I was just saying, you know, you're learning some sort of logic gate stuff there.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing.
I got you to play TIS 100, right? On Steam.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I wish I could convince more people to try that out because that is like such a window into assembly programming, like how a computer really works, right?
Yeah, such a trippy programming language.
Yeah.
So you're just programming these tiny little modules that have to talk with each other, but in this weird sort of parallel way. It's
yes.
And then it's got this fun little subtext to it, like some sort of some story where you're digging into a some sort of hidden past. This machine is
that's right.
doing stuff to the world.
That's right. It does have.
Yeah, the programming was crazy in that game.
So were you in the computer class with me that included the assembly programming? We did one class. I did one class, and I can't remember what it was called. It was called computer.
It was a computer engineering class. I was in one of the computer engineering classes, and yeah, I think we touched a bit of assembly. Not very much.
Yeah, what I'm remembering is that in that class we had trainers. Like we had I wouldn't remember what the processor was, but say there was 6502, but it's like a console. Actually, it didn't look that different from like my little console here, but it was a lot beefier. And it had a number pad input, and so all you could do was input single lines of code in hex. So like in the class, we would sit there and write a program out, and like type in the program with just hex codes, and you get a little program out of it that would like add two numbers or light up an LED somewhere, something like that.
Nice. I think because you guys there was like two of these computer engineering classes, I think, and you guys have done one that I wasn't in, and then I joined you for the second one or something like that.
I think
I
that was
missed
it.
out on...
Hey, that's when you made Trump Revolution. Do you remember you made
Trump Revolution? I remember Trump Revolution. Yeah, totally.
You made a trumpet-based like Dance Dance Revolution simulation. That was fantastic.
In QBasic. So I took a block of wood, attached 3 buttons onto the top, like just 3 switches, basically. Well, push buttons, and wired it up to some microprocessor, some sort of Arduino-ish sort of thing. That then collected the inputs, and you had to basically press the right fingering for a trumpet as you see some music sort of scrolling by on the screen in QBasic. So in a very sort of like old school DOS sort of look to it. It was pretty buggy, pretty hard to get all the timing right, but it was fun to make that.
Yeah. Trump Revolution. That was
could have changed the world. I should have just should have marketed that.
I actually will say that I've often thought, if you could go back in time and have $1 million idea that you could bring back, one of the things I always thought about was we could have done, I mean, like, not we as in like anybody, the collective they could have done Guitar Hero on all the old consoles. Like, the Guitar Hero controller could have existed, on Super Nintendo. Like that whole music, kind of simulation playing instrument thing could have been a decade earlier. I mean, we wouldn't have had CD quality audio, obviously, but you would have had, you could have had, just regular, chiptune of all the popular songs, but it still would have worked. Okay, what's going on here? Is anybody, Eric, do you know what I'm supposed to do here? 'Cause I'm like...
I don't know. Can you shoot some laser beams through those slits to like stun things or anything like that?
Well, you know what I probably can shoot through to get at least the spider.
The switch, maybe?
There we go. Not the switch, but I can... I'll use my super shoes to jump up here. Come on. Damage boost.
Getting wrecked by that.
I'm running low on energy.
That.
There is a speed run of this game on YouTube, if you're so inclined. Oh, I'm all the way at the back here.
That was one thing I noticed with that when I was looking at that island game. Didn't find a single video of it. You can find the file, you can find it out there, but I couldn't find any videos of people playing it.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. Well, first of all, I know the title screen does actually say Durham District School Board on it, so I know that it truly was. But I mean, it could have been licensed, but that's not what it says. It it says like, doesn't say anything to indicate that it was just licensed. I mean, why would they change the actual like binary file to say that? But it's classic. You know who? I mean, obviously somebody else got it out. That's why it's on the internet. But I remember our friend Paul absconded with it one day. Brought a floppy disk. Brought a floppy disk in and brought a copy out for the ages.
Nice. Exit One says, "Did you know they had Guitar Hero for DS?"
Yes, and that was really cool. So I don't know if you've ever seen that, Eric, but it was like a big cartridge that I can't remember if I think the cartridge went in the normal cartridge slot, but then this like big looked like a hand exerciser thing you'd snap onto the DS, and so you'd hold it like sideways like a phone, like a flip phone. You'd hold it, and you'd have the 4 fret buttons, and you would play the strumming with the stylus on the screen. And like the notes would come across the top of the screen.
Yeah, I don't think I've tried it myself, but I have seen the thing. It's some pretty cool tech.
Okay.
That thing, it just slides out from under you.
Yeah.
I think that's how physics works.
Yep. As far as I've ever seen, that's pretty much what you do. Okay. All right. Let's throw in a wild card. What do you wanna see? I could like really quickly transfer over something to the NES core. Let's put something on NES. That's
Yeah.
a nice, easy one.
You brought up Battletoads. Let's get some Battletoads.
Let's get some Battletoads. All right. Fantastic music.
So the other thing I wanted to ask you today on the stream is, I guess the MiSTer is all about being able to emulate different hardware, different systems. And I was thinking, okay, what are some classic games that we could play? And the thing that came to mind was, can the MiSTer emulate the TI-83 Plus?
Oh, the TI-83 Plus. You talking about?
Has anybody done that?
There are definitely like Android apps that will emulate such amazing technology, such as the TI-83 Plus. As far as
one of these days, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah. What did we play? We used to play. I'm trying to remember. Was it called Fall Down?
Fall Down was definitely the favorite. That, and we had a beautiful Snake version of Snake on there. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
So Fall
sitting
Down
at the back of the.
Yeah, sitting in homeroom and like making our teacher very annoyed at us, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, that's the way.
Okay, there we go. So I'm just transferring it. So I'm transferring this by. Let's go here. Transferring this by. Oh, I have to do it by SD card. I actually have to put this into my computer. Okay, here we go. This is what the stream is all about. The stream is about giving the people what they want, even when that's struggling to like add a ROM to a SD card on the streaming computer while the streaming is going on. Okay, we're close. We're getting there. Okay, it is transferred. Back in the MiSTer it goes. I turn it on. All right. Oh, not getting anything on the screen here. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to reboot back into NES and Battletoads. Okay, Trade West presents, but a rare production. Often cited as one of the best early games from Rare. Got some slamming music. Let's watch.
1991. So that's getting a bit late for NES.
Yeah.
Did you have this one?
No, my cousin had it. So this was like the one I always wanted to play it when we went over there.
Yeah.
Pimple and Angelica.
I didn't have this. I had Battletoads and Double Dragon.
Yeah.
So it's like a mashup of the two. That was definitely a hard game to play. I never had this one.
Yeah, this is just, and again, great music. This has some like strange timing in the music. Like the drums don't. There's like a. It's like a Led Zeppelin song that does the same thing. Oh, so one neat thing the MiSTer can do, I don't have it turned on right now, but there is a feature the MiSTer can do, which is to artificially enhance the sprite limit. So I don't know the number, but it's something like the NES can only show, I don't know, whatever it is, 16 sprites per scan line, something like that. Maybe it's only 8. But the MiSTer can artificially increase that, so you don't get the flashing. Like you may remember, I think Ninja Turtles is really bad for it, where the flashing. Well, you can ride this guy if you hit him just right.
Yeah, there was definitely one or two levels in Ninja Turtles that was just chaos.
Yeah,
because there was too
the
many
flashing
on the screen. Yeah.
Okay, this is always a really funny perspective problem because I used to always jump too far down there and not realize that was no good.
Yeah, so the gap's way narrower at the top than at the bottom.
And this one, all right, so like, okay, right here. there's like a 1-up here. Oh, I missed it anyway. But like I don't think I ever got that 1-up as a kid because the perspective from like being up on the shelf there.
Yeah, I think you got to watch the shadow at the bottom.
Yeah.
That gives you a better sense of where it is.
Nice.
Pretty good game though. A lot of different modes, a lot of different things going on.
And
all the different attacks too. They've got sort of cool patterns to them and stuff.
Yeah, you get like the ram horns.
Yeah.
So the next level we have here is the turbo tunnel, which I used to find this really hard, but then I like eventually figured out like the whole idea of like if you go up against the edge, then you get the like the kettlebell.
Yeah.
And you just keep doing that all the way down.
Yeah, exactly.
You just keep smashing them birds. So Eric, you're in Melbourne, Australia, correct?
Melbourne, yeah.
Tell me how it's going down there right now compared to Ontario.
Melbourne's going pretty good.
Yeah.
I think early on we had a very severe lockdown here. So that was in probably starting around June or July here.
Yeah.
And we were, I think, 111 days is the number that we were just completely locked down.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to go more than 5 kilometers from our house.
Oh wow.
And we weren't allowed to leave for. There was only 4 reasons you're allowed to leave the house, so it was really, really extreme, but it worked, I guess. And now, I mean, Australia's got the advantage too that we're it's an island, so we can really kind of close off the borders a lot more strictly and all that sort of thing.
Yep.
One way or another, yeah, we got pretty lucky, and things are like normal here, which is kind of cool.
Oh man, I'm losing my lights here. Yeah, so comparative in Ontario, where we just had our lockdown extended, but you know, it's definitely not being enforced. I mean, like businesses and stuff are closed, but as far as like people moving, doing things that they don't have to do, that is not like a thing that's being enforced. And that's interesting because like the police were just given powers to enforce it, and basically they all said like, oh, the police forces said they didn't want to or couldn't enforce the lockdown. So yeah, very different stories.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I've gotten a bit, like, I think I know how it feels to have these conversations and people comparing about how one place is enforcing it versus another. And it gets a bit annoying, I think, when you know that your country, like, or that your home is doing everything you can to try to get it under control. And what works in one place isn't going to work everywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I hope that it gets better. I think Ontario is in a bit of a rough spot right now.
Yeah. We, you know, our vaccine rollout is getting better, but like, is not very fast right now. So, like, for example, like my parents have each had 1 vaccine. My wife, who's a doctor, has had both vaccines, like both shots. I mean, I figure like I am like gonna be the last guy to get it because I have like no health conditions, no advanced age or anything like that. So. Although, I mean, one thing I thought could be a possibility of getting it early would just be the fact that I work at the university. I don't know if they're gonna give any eventual priority to anybody who is, you know, working in institutions. Just because students are there.
Yeah. Well, my wife's a teacher, and I heard that teachers are starting to get priority for vaccines as well. So I guess the schools can keep operating and staying open. So I think that's a good sign. And it's definitely wherever it's at in Ontario, it's definitely better than Australia for the vaccines. What happened here is because we got the numbers under control with quarantine and stuff early, it means that that the vaccine has just not been a priority here at all. So we're like last in the packing order for vaccines. I think less than 2% of people have gotten any shots, something like that.
Wow. Yeah.
It's just not really happening here. So it means we're a lot more vulnerable, I think, to outbreaks. If something does happen, then we're screwed.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So we just gotta stay very very careful.
You get all the cool animations in this. Like you got the ram horns, I think, when you kick them just right.
Yeah, and the boot. I love the boot.
Yeah.
But yeah, the smash them into the ground. It's always
boot. I remember I had one. Do you remember like the website Newgrounds with all the Flash animations?
Oh yeah.
I had one submission ever that I did, and it was like
okay.
It was all NES games, and it started off with Super Dodgeball, and it's like they're playing dodgeball, and like the ball gets spiked way out of the game, and then so it the ball made its way into like all these scenes from all these games and like screwed something up. So for this game, like the ball came in and like like knocked my my speeder, and smashed into a wall. It went through a whole bunch of games and caused all sorts of trouble. It got like 10 views and whatever like negative rating was possible.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at the turbo tunnel.
Nice. Often a game ender.
Yeah, and having the original experience, not the original hardware, but like the speed, like the latency, is a big deal, because you have to, like, especially when you get to the end of this level, you like go back and forth super fast. Like you have to anticipate, you have to know what's coming.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you don't hit it. I'm pretty proud of myself right now. Oh, why did I say that?
What happened there?
I don't know. I like missed the. You have to jump off the ramp. You can't just like ping it. You have to actually jump off it at the right moment.
Right.
Oh, I missed it again. Hopefully I have it continue. Rash. Okay.
Press start to continue. Yeah.
All right. We'll give it one more shot. I have more lives this time, so I should actually get a few more chances on the turbo tunnel. Yeah. So as a kid, I never got through the turbo tunnel, so I never saw any of the other levels. And so like I was watching a video, a guy was showing one of the last levels. I think involved some very interesting, like quick twitch turns, and he was demonstrating that like on a MiSTer it's possible to complete, and on a software emulator like playing Windows, he was playing like a Retro Pi, like a Raspberry Pi with a software emulator on it. He couldn't beat it on that one due to the latency on the input lag. So this, especially playing on a CRT, it'd be cool to do an actual lag test to see, because I mean there is an HDMI to VGA converter, which should have some lag, but I don't know. It should be less than 1 frame. I mean, it feels good. Like
there's the horns.
Yes, I can remember trying to play Super Mario Brothers 3 on an LCD TV, like an early one, like when we first kind of were able to get them. And it was like the whole game was being played on ice. Like I didn't get it. I was like, why am I so bad at this game? And not realizing how much input lag there was on those original LCDs.
Oh yeah, some of those TVs just insane.
At least now we have usually a game mode that tries to skip over all the processing.
Mm-hmm.
So these monitors that I'm using here are Ikegami broadcast monitors. So they they actually have stickers on them from the show Report on Business on CBC. So I got this at the flea market in Curtis, and the guy bought out a either CBC itself or like the production company that was doing it. Once they obviously upgraded everything from CRTs to LCDs. Very hard to find. The preferred ones that most people want are the Sony versions, which are called professional video monitors, PVMs. Man, I can't hit that jump. And they go for a ton of money, so I was happy to find these at a reasonable price. Still paid quite a bit for them, but I was able to repair them. They don't have any burn-in on the monitor, so you know, can't be happier.
Nice.
And I have two. So I have one that's in vertical orientation for if I'm playing, you know, some vertical arcade games.
So you must still though go through a lot of screens for your various arcades and that sort of thing, eh?
I do. So like my I have a storage room that still has, you know, a whole bunch of old TVs. Man, I can't hit that one. One more time. We're coming up on 10 o'clock, so I'll give it another shot. And we'll call it after that. Yeah, so I still, you know, maintain a little supply of CRTs. If you don't know, you can use regular CRTs, like what you just, you know, buy at Sears. You can actually take the tubes out of them and use them on arcade machines with, you know, there's some work involved, but you end up with really nice, burn-free tubes. And I really like CRTs. I just think they're neat.
It's definitely a cool technology.
Yeah, it's like
the way they work.
It seems so ancient, like to describe it to somebody who's like
Yeah.
grown up on LCDs. You're like, well, you accelerate electrons, scatter them on a phosphor, use magnets to control the beam. Like, it sounds like you're totally making it up. And I think a lot of people would just never know the difference, like not having not sat in front of one for, you know, decades.
I used to love the degauss button
Yeah.
on a CRT. Getting
Yeah.
that satisfying just boom.
I actually had a funny memory about that at your place, which is we were in I remember in your basement, like you had like your brother's computer, I think, was in the main area. He had like the primo spot, and there was another computer
right,
you had in like a one room over.
The side room, yeah.
Yeah, we used to play stuff on that, and we were in that room once, and I like was holding a magnet. I don't even know why I was holding a magnet. And
Yeah, we like to hold magnets in those days. Just carry magnets around.
that's what teenagers did back then. Held magnets.
Yeah.
And I like pointed at the screen holding the magnet and like totally destroyed the color purity on that monitor. I mean, we didn't know any better. Like, I can't hit this thing. I don't know. Maybe I lied everything about the input latency. I don't know
So it's got to be the hardware.
I don't know if I hit it there. Yeah, exactly. I hit it that time. Right? Yeah.
Nice.
Man. Oh, I got a free
Last
life
shot.
somewhere. No. So let the record show that I failed the turbo tunnel every time at the jumps and not once by actually hitting a wall. I don't think I hit a wall the whole time.
Right.
All right. Okay, so I think that's good. I think we've been here for an hour, so I think we'll wrap it up. So Eric, thanks a lot for coming on stream, and I think we should.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And you're eventually headed back to this continent, and you know, hopefully in the future we could get together and do some actual 2-player.
That'll be amazing.
Okay, let's wrap it up then. Thanks everybody for watching, who is here live, and anybody who's watching this stream later on. Watch my channel for some more streams, some more stuff about MiSTer, and some more arcade repair. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.